Hello everyone, let's look at ACC today. Please note that this is only for educational purposes and to show you how analysis is done. Just to open up discussions, this is not investment advice. Please read the disclaimer in the description box. So when you look at ACC, right, so there are a lot of things that are happening in this stock currently. If you look at its trend, just zoom out on the daily chart. I'm going to show you just an overview here first. This is ACC starting at, that's not when the stock was listed, don't get me wrong. Starting at, in the sense, I'm just looking at it from 2009, and it was around 550. It went up all the way till a high of 1803, right? That's about 350 odd percent returns. And then it dropped back onto 941, 940. Yeah. And then again, 2020, along with the rest of the market, it rallied all the way up, and it touched very close to the current levels that we have here. If you want to look at pure highs, then it touched about, I think around there, around 2776. And the latest high was around 2850, 2844. Yeah. So very interesting stock, this one. This is different from the rest of the market in some senses. Why? Because you see a massive rally here and a significant correction here as well. Something interesting happened in the stock. Now my indicators tell me that a top and a bottom both were indicated on the stock at the same time. Now this happens rarely on a stock during a pullback, because the pullback is so uh, drastic and the dip is so quick. The indicators don't have time enough to turn, because indicators are generally lagging. Despite you trying your best effort, they're going to be slightly lagging anyway. So here, this spot here is where, so it started indicating a bottom around here, saying that a bottom is going to form. So of course, from February to around March 25th, you see a bottom actually happening, it bottoming out absolutely, right? Now, this is a nice buy zone. So you buy around here to here. I would suggest around here. I haven't picked out the exact candle where it indicated it, according to me, because it's irrelevant to today. Somewhere around here, you'd end up buying it, which is around, let us say, I don't know, a high of 1316, right? Manage that around 1300, 1310, 1320. And then you're waiting on it. Now, what it did is really, really funny, where the indicators twisted around following it. On this particular day, it indicated both a close of the bottom, but also immediately said it's reaching a high top zone as well, because it did not take a lot of time to kind of move across. The indicators immediately called out the volatility, right? Being a very volatile move, this one, it showed us very clearly that it, as soon as the bottoming indicators were closed off, it immediately started indicating a top, meaning that it's very close to being exhausted. And you can see this, you can see the vertical rise. This is literally, most stocks ended up doing it in 9 to 12 months. ACC, you can clearly see here, it started around, what was this, March, end of March, and by the end of November it was done. By the mid-November it was done, right? Even if you consider this, that's September it was done. So just 6 months into this, and this trend, and then bam, it was done right there. um, so but what did that do? That created a very important support zone for us here. So you can see that 2022, end of 2021, from September onwards till the entire 2022, ACC did nothing. It was just going around in this zone, very confused, forming a sideways pattern. Confused is when a stock is trying to build base. That is when it is confused, or it is looking for more stability, more money to come in, and so on and so forth, right? Plus, there's also profit booking happening. So ACC in that sideways zone suddenly dips, because what it did is, because it formed a topping pattern already very early in the market, in the trend here, what it indicated is, if I fall, this is where I will fall to, right? And again, it because there was a topping pattern, this continuous selling happened, it fell, and it fell directly to this zone 1665 to 1594. Excellent support, and you can see immediately there is significant buying there, and it rushes back up, and it's now broken this top as well, and it's getting there. I wouldn't say significant break, but yes, enough to show that it's in a strong up move. There's still a lot of profit booking because clearly people feel that um, it's a good level to book profits, and it is definitely, but it's also a good level to buy. So bounce back from here and it goes up. Now, if you look at this, right, these are some levels that I've mapped out. 2237 is a very significant support currently. And you can see that the latest candles, once the resistance broke and it formed into a support, you can see the latest candles dip and take support there, exactly there. Now, the significance of this is not just local, not just at this price point. That is why investigating price in the history is super important, and it tells you a lot about how a trend might pan out and what are important levels. I'll show you why that. Let's look at the levels for now. 2237, 2423, and 2573 are current support levels. Minor, major, extremely significant, and this, of course, ends the trend if it breaches this. And as a matter of fact, even this for that matter, 2237, if it's breached, I don't see ACC going anywhere. Just be sideways, or it might end up breaching this as well. And let's zoom out a little. Let's look at what are these levels signifying, right? In the long term. If you go back to 2022 as well, you can see what's happening with these levels, right? Like I said, the support level here was formed due to this, but go back a little more and you can see a little more of how the story pans out. Right? This entire zone, this support level was formed not just here, very significantly here. This was actually a very strong signal saying that I'm going to use this as a very strong support. But repeatedly over the last 10 years, since 2014 and even 12 for that matter, but 12 wasn't in the same zone, it was slightly off because these support levels keep building. They change slightly too over time. But you can see how this support level has remained a constant spot of importance for ACC, right? So these are important analyses that you should use always to come up with strategies around the market. So for example, if this was a fall, for anybody who had this, this is a buy level. They know that. Buy with a stop loss, with a very short stop loss, right? For significant gains or minor losses. That is always the stock market. It's a balance of risk versus returns. So this is a low risk trade for good investment returns on that. So 1500, if you had invested there, you've made 1,000 out of it already, right? And I see ACC going forward, moving much higher as well. If you want to do a Fibonacci projection, you could do that right now. We could just map this to the low of this, which was around 895, to the high of this, which was around 2785. Right? Let me just correct those levels. 895, 2785, just for accuracy. And then again, 2787 is a significant resistance currently. You'll see once ACC breaks through that very cleanly and takes good support at 2573, 2787, you'll see ACC moving towards 3509, 3510. 3500-ish, it's a Fibonacci projection. It's an approximation. It won't be exact. I'll draw my levels as prices get closer and closer to this. 3732, 3750, that's another one that's going to be important. I see this happening, it hitting 3750. If it forms a successful base around here, that is what my analysis says. That is how you go about looking at a stock like this that has a significant rise, but also a significant sideways zone and sideways to downward zone. It has, unlike the rest of the market, it has actually signaled bottom formation, top formation, top formation, and bottom formation all in the last 4 years. I like that in a stock personally because it gives me clear signs of what is actually happening. I don't like stocks that go into a sideways, confusing bunch of what do you call it, indicators. This is far more clearer, far more crisp and significant. You know where you need to take action. Of course, the moves are much higher too. Um, Saying that, that gives you two options, right? You can treat this as a highly volatile stock. You can see that in the monthly candles as well. The movements are big. Or you can also look at that as a good opportunity to continuously buy during a good trend up. And this is one of those good trends up that offers you constant buying opportunities. So that is ACCA for us, an interesting stock to look at from multiple layers of analysis, including monthly, weekly, and daily, over 10 years of data showing us significant levels on the stock. I hope you found that interesting. Thank you for watching.